Hello and welcome to Healy Horizon. I am your host, Martina Kling, and I am so excited to join you today. How the time flies. It feels really like just yesterday when we celebrated the new year. This month we celebrated love and connection, which perfectly fits into our season of renewal, now in the first quarter of the year. While Valentine's Day is a moment to cherish and appreciate our loved ones, it is also a time for self-love, a time to grow and to develop, to be the best version of you. That's why we are exploring ways to get motivated as we strive for personal and professional development. In this episode of Healy Horizon, we are going to reflect deeply on our practices and learn more about how we can maximize our success together. Today, Healy Horizon is happy to welcome a truly amazing lineup of guests who know all about the ups and downs of hustling, determination, accomplishing goals, and also finding balance for your well-being. First one, Martina Kondritz, then Schneider, and Sabrina Fitz. Watch as they let us in on all their tips and tricks as well as expert insights. And if you're tuning in live, you are going to want to pay close attention. Later on in the show, you will have the chance to win not only one but two giveaway package prizes. So, watch until the end, listen carefully and stay tuned. With that, let's dive right in and begin the show. We are kicking off the episode with an amazing surprise guest. Please join me in welcoming Soul Cycle Mastermind Martina Kondritz. Martina is a certified healing practitioner with over a decade of experience. And now, in the month of February, in the month of love, she's sharing her gifts with the Healy World community through our member-exclusive Facebook group called 36 Days with Martina Kondritz. This group has already somewhere around 4,000 participants, and you can find it in Facebook, and there you can also find amazing tips and coaching around the Soul Cycle program group. Last week, Friday, I drove to Martina to her practice to do an interview with her exploring what was her motivation when developing Soul Cycle. How did she come up at all with all that programs that turned out to be one of our best-selling and best-loving Healy programs, and also to give us some very concrete tips on how to use it. Today, exclusively for Healy Horizon, let's watch the interview together. Martina, thank you so much for being here with us today, exclusively for Healy Horizon in this special interview, where we want to talk with you about the Soul Cycle, about our phenomenal program group Soul Cycle. So, for those of our community members who hear about the Soul Cycle for the first time, can you please briefly explain us what the Soul Cycle is?
Yeah. Yes, with pleasure. Yes, Soul Cycle is a new program edition, although it's not so new anymore, with 12 completely different emotional programs. We have acceptance, we have burden, we have aura pure, we have power reserve, inner balance. So you can already hear from the names that there's a lot of emotional content, and that's how the Soul Cycle was designed for you.
Beautiful, beautiful programs, Martina, but what was the inspiration behind? Like, how were those programs created? Why? How did you get the idea about them?
Yes, we can all thank Marcus Schmieker for that. Yes, as is often the case, he's to blame. Yes, Marcus called and said, hey, I know you have really great programs and we would like 12 programs for the Healy. So Martin Whitman and Marcus Schmieker chose 12 programs from my program editions. And of course, they chose the most beautiful ones. And from that, the Soul Cycle was created. So without Marcus, the Soul Cycle baby would never have been born. He really has a very good sense for emotions and has selected some really great programs for you with Martin. Yes, so that's how the Soul Cycle came about. The programs were actually created in advance through my personal research work and many experiences, but I'll tell you a little more about that later.
Yes, when you are mentioning the experiences and personal experiences. So tell us from your personal experience, how can people benefit from the Soul Cycle Program Group? How do user benefit?
Yeah, we're in an incredibly fast-paced time right now. That means we all struggle with regulating emotion, noticing emotion. We're under a lot of stress and strain. Sometimes we might feel close to tears. And we have emotions that sometimes boil over, so you can lose your temper. We really have a very dynamic era and a dog-eat-dog business. And I hope that the Soul Cycle can be a little support to many people to maybe just not lose your temper or to accept more easily something when something challenging has happened, or when you're really burdened, to simply find peace within yourself again and let go of that burden. So the Soul Cycle should offer a little support to everyone out there.
Okay, so to be support when having some challenging situations. So Martina, can you give us your 3 tips to maximize the experience? Are there maybe some programs that can be combined together for a good result or for a good experience?
Yeah, there's a good combination. First, acceptance, to accept ourselves and to accept situations. And that fits very well with confidence. Confidence to look inside ourselves, confidence to rebuild my business better. It's really about going into the next challenges with confidence. And if I have inner restlessness, then I can also add on a serenity package to those. And then I have a combination of 3 that I can use to really ground myself.
Very, very, very nice. But now you're mentioning programs. Should Soul Cycle programs be used daily, weekly? What would you recommend?
There is a plan and a schedule for all newcomers, but it's also really important that the entry into Soul Cycle is still intuitive for everyone. I always think, and by the way, this applies to all Healy programs, that you should run each program at least 3 days in a row, because the body needs to be able to process, to work the frequencies, and for that you simply need a little bit of time. And this fast-paced time, I don't really like that dynamic anyway, and the Soul Cycle shouldn't be like that either. Instead, you see, there's strength in peace, and that's how the Soul Cycle should be intuitively there for you, so that when you have a situation, you simply say, okay, I'm going to run Aura Pure for 3 days. That intuition is really important. But those who like a clear plan can follow the schedule.
Okay, so there is a plan. Now, Martina, tell us one fact about Soul Cycle that nobody knows. Tell us something that nobody knows.
That's a mean question. Yes, there is one. There are 3 programs in Healy where the feedback is practically identical. Cravings for sweets. But it makes sense too, because chocolate is comfort food. So, yes, it was quite interesting for me to get that feedback. Right at the beginning, people would write to me saying, Martina, I get cravings for sweets. Is this normal? So, yes, that was something that nobody knows that now everyone knows.
What is your favorite program and why?
I have many favorite programs. Serenity is one of them. I created that program myself. For example, when you have many guests to calm down, but it's not just for the festive season. It can be birthday parties. I mean, when you invite 50 people, you have to take care of things. So I often just let Serenity run. And also Aura Pure. Yes, that's one of my favorites because I created that one myself too, because a tree came down in a storm in our neighbor's yard.
So you have a personal experience also.
Yes, and the tree was on our property as well, and they didn't remove it. Then they went on vacation, not for 3 weeks, but longer. I was so angry then. So many negative thoughts and many negative emotions, burdening feelings. So I noticed I got tired, wasn't myself anymore. So I was very different than usual. And then I thought, you're letting negative thoughts in your aura. That's not good. And that's how Aura Pure came about. They did move the tree in the end. We're good friends again now, but that's how Aura Pure was made. That's how it originated, really, from that situation. And so, because of how I felt, I really noticed a need to create a program to get myself out of there.
But this is very, very nice, because there you see that those programs, it's not just theoretic. It's really coming from your personal experience.
Yeah, many programs were developed like that. I always test the programs on myself first.
Also du bist der Versuchskaninchen. Martina, on February 14th, we started a beautiful project together. It's a Facebook group called 36 Days with Martina Kondritz. And this group is for our Healy World community. And we see that interest for the Facebook group is overwhelming. We have around 4,000 people in this Facebook group that want to learn more about Soul Cycle. What do you think? Why is the interest for Soul Cycle so big?
First, I have to give a huge compliment to the marketing department at Healy, with dear Martina Kling, who really built this up right from the ground for you, dear members. So that was really a huge task. And I said, I'm very happy to participate in that. So Martina, thanks on behalf of all dear members for making this possible for them. Yes, we started the group and we're both very excited about this success. And I also adapted the program schedule for the Facebook group so that people can participate more easily. And I've put a lot of thought into it, so it's easy to follow the tips. And I put a new post in the group every day suggesting what to do and the best way to do it for people. And when we start a new program, because the Soul Cycle program changes every 3 days, then on the 4th day in the group, there's a big post from me where I explain what can be expected from the new program. And that's the heart of the Soul Cycle, and this is what I try to explain a bit more. And what people love are the affirmations, and very, very important is that people can write their own diary for the Soul Cycle and actually write it themselves. They can also enjoy feedback from other members. They can see what others have experienced.
They share experiences in the group.
It's really exceptional, and it's so much fun because the flow in this group is so positive. It's really something very, very beautiful to see.
And that's great, because there they can not only learn from you, but they can also learn from each other, because they see how other people feel, what experiences do they do. So it's like learning by doing and learning from each other.
Absolutely correct. Yes, it's absolutely right. Very well said.
Okay, Martina, and with this we are coming to the end of our interview. But last question, what can we expect next from you? Because Soul Cycle is so successful and it's such a beloved program group. What other topics we may expect in the future?
So now we have 2 Martinas at Healy, and Martina are preparing quite a few things. Maybe a bit about animals, maybe a Healy Soul Cycle, maybe something completely new. I'll leave it to you to be surprised.
But there is also an event, the Power Summit. Power Summit is coming our way. Maybe you're going to be there?
Yeah, the Power Summit in Bonn. I will be there, and I would love to answer questions for your members and to be there as your product expert and answer questions about other programs too. I really have lots of insights and experience with so many Healy programs, so I'm simply very happy to be able to support you and very much looking forward to being in Bonn.
Thank you so much. Thank you also for being today with us. So dear community, you just heard from the first hand, Power Summit, April, Bonn. We are going to meet with our EMEA community there, talk about a lot of topics, also Soul Cycle with Martina Kondritz, the mastermind behind, but also meeting some other experts and of course our beautiful community. We expect a lot of people gathering there, sharing experiences. So also we invite you to be there on site with us. And Martina, thank you again for this beautiful interview.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, I can only say thank you, Martina, for sharing that inspiration with us, for all the behind the scenes that you told us, for more insights around your work and also your phenomenal programs. The excitement continues with our second amazing guest, and let's give a warm welcome to independent Healy World member with the rank of Executive Director, Sabrina Fitz. She is here to not only give us some of her golden advice on how to balance different aspects of your life, she is also going to talk about setting financial goals and achieving success that will lead to long-term fulfillment and happiness, as well as just short-term satisfaction. Sabrina, thank you for joining us.
Hallo, liebe Healy Family und vielen herzlichen Dank für die Einladung.
Hello, dear Healy family, and many heartfelt thanks for the invitation to Healy Horizon. I am Sabrina Fitz. I come from Austria, and I used to work 40 to 50 hours a week for 1,700 euros a month. I thought it was normal for a woman to earn so little, and if I just tried hard enough, maybe I could make it to 2,000 euros a month.
2.000 Euro im Monat schaffen. Dann wurde ich schwanger.
Then I got pregnant and earned almost nothing. Now I am a mom of 2 young children, and I have decided that I will never go back to an employee job because I want to fulfill my dreams.
Wieder in einen Angestelltenjob zurückgehen werde. Denn ich möchte meine Träume.
I want to help other people, and I want to set an example for my children that they can shape their lives the way they want, not as society dictates. I believe we all agree, with our Healy, we hold a wonderful tool in our hands. It's a unicorn product, or as we would say in Austria, the all-in-one miracle.
Wie wir auch in Österreich sagen würden, die eierlegende Wollmilchsau.
Many network marketing companies would wish to work with such a product at all. Because we are not just covering a niche, but also talking about one of the most important areas for people, well-being. And that is holistic well-being in the physical, mental, and spiritual realms, and even financially. And the most important work you can do is the work for those 10 centimeters between your ears.
Zwischen deinen Ohren, ja? Es geht hier unser Mindset, denn Erfolg.
Yes, it's about our mindset here, because success begins in the mind. Everything you have achieved so far has originated from a thought. You wanted something, for example, a car. You saw it. A thought arose in your mind. You bought it, sooner or later. So matter follows consciousness, and that's exactly what we work with every day when we use Healy.
Wenn wir den Healy verwenden. Meine Frage.
My question, do you know what you want? Do you know what your goals are? Where do you feel this burning desire? Inside you? Here in the gut? Where you say, so if I achieve that, it triggers feelings of happiness in you. Most people actually know exactly what they don't want. Yes, they might complain all day about the rising cost of living, how unfair everything is distributed, and envy their neighbors, but they don't know what they want. And if we don't know the goal, then we might set off, but we don't know in which direction, and then it becomes difficult. And here are my 3 tips on how you can achieve your business goals with Healy. Tip 1, let your subconscious work for you. I get up every day, and the first thing I do is write down my 2 most important goals. I have a little journal, just a little bit, and I write down my top 2 goals every day. Every day. So if you can do that, and please do it as if they have already come true.
Ja, ich sage jetzt nicht, was meine Ziele sind, aber ich schreibe dann zum Beispiel auf.
I write, for example, I am Healy World Director, or I am healthy, as if they have already come true. And imagine if you do that for a year, what will your subconscious think? So, why are you doing that every day? It seems important to you. Okay, let's take care of it. Let's make sure it happens. So you can let your subconscious, which makes up 95%, work for you. Feel free to use the Heal Advisor Success Coach module. Yes, we have all the tools available with our Healy that support the whole thing. Second tip, invest in your team. So now, in my team, I conducted goal-setting conversations at the beginning of the year.
Was bedeutet das?
What does that mean? I met with my members, online, offline, with the team or individuals. Doesn't matter. The main thing is to do it because sales come from sales. So just do it.
Umsetzen, also einfach mal machen. Und wir haben die Ziele besprochen.
And we discussed the goals. So what's your next goal? Rank. And what rank should be in your back office on December 31st, 2024.
Und dann haben wir uns
And then we looked at what do you need for that? How much downline volume? What's still missing? Which are the strongest legs? How many Healys can still be recommended in the team? How much in the legs?
Wie viel in den Beinen? Also
So we basically broke down this big goal into small building blocks and looked at what is needed for that. And that makes the whole thing much more tangible. And then it was clear, okay, these are the next steps.
Nutze dafür gerne auch unser
Feel free to use our great back office for that. There are some settings where you can find out who the active members are. So where are the people who are pushing, who want to achieve something?
die Gas geben, die etwas erreichen wollen. Das kann ich ganz einfach.
I can easily filter them out, and then I also contact them. So talk to people, call them, get in touch with them and say, hey, great what you're doing. How can I support you? What do you need to achieve your goals, and what can I do as a sponsor for you?
Und was kann ich als Sponsor für Sie machen? Mein letzter Tipp.
My last tip, and the third therefore, pay attention to your environment. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who are these people? Take a moment to think. Who do you spend the most time with? Is it family? Are they friends or even colleagues? And what are these people like? What do they think? What do they say? Do they have goals? What goals? Or maybe they don't have any goals at all. Maybe they also want to keep you small and even speak against your goals. So take a close look at the people in your environment because do you know when you have self-doubt? There are no self-doubts. Self-doubts are always just the doubts of other people that have settled in your head. And that's a very important point. Therefore, surround yourself with people who are good for you, who support you, and ideally are already where you want to go. Make yourself aware every day of what your goals are, and also become aware of what your why is. What feelings is that associated with? And if you do that, then you can only be successful. I wish you all the best for the future, and thank you very much for allowing me to be here. What feelings is that associated with? And if you do that, then you can only be successful. I wish you all the best for the future, and thank you very much for allowing me to be here.
Und vielen Dank, dass ich da sein durfte.
Thank you for sharing your nuggets of wisdom with us, Sabrina. I feel so much more in tune with my goals, and I hope a lot of you, of our viewers, feel the same way too. Keeping things moving right along, as promised, there is not just one giveaway prize up for grabs, but 2. So let's look at the amazing packages we are offering our lucky winners today. For our first package, we are hoping to motivate you a little bit to crush your targets this year, and what better way to do that than with our iconic Healy device. And we are taking it a step further by adding the Healy Coil, like I wear it here in the show, so you can enjoy your new device in 2 ways, either with electrodes or with the coil. It's completely up to you. But not only that, there is still one more special package to win, and this package consists of our branded yoga mat, a water bottle, and a booklet, because we would like to see you start your morning with some stretches, with some mindfulness, with some nice moments. So I'm excited to see also who wins this one. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is share your professional goals in the live chat. Take a moment to reflect and to share what is going to take to make those goals and your dreams to come true. You'll have until the end of the live show to come up with your answers, so make sure you really take time to dig deep. It's my pleasure to introduce you to our next guest speaker, Schneider, an independent Healy World member with a Senior Vice President ranking. We are really lucky to welcome him here today because he's going to share his wisdom on some important topics, including balancing personal wellness with business, motivation, and success. He will share how finding this balance paves the way for a life of reduced stress and anxiety. And nowadays we really have a lot of that in our lives.
Ja, vielen lieben Dank, Martina.
Yes, many thanks, Martina. And hello to Healy World. It's an honor for me to share some information with you today. Maybe I'll start by telling you a bit about myself, where I come from. I worked in a hospital for over 13 years. I completed nursing training, then moved directly to the operating room, where I worked for 10 years and gained exciting experiences. However, over 8 years ago, due to a family illness, I found myself on a different path.
Ja, durch einen Krankheitsfall vor über 8 Jahren in der Familie auf einen anderen Weg gekommen, habe angefangen, viele Dinge zu hinterfragen.
I began to question many things, and for me, the purely conventional medical approach was no longer the right one. I haven't worked in the hospital for almost 4 years now, and my goal is to help people take responsibility for their lives and their health. In my opinion, that's the right path.
Für ihr Leben, für ihre Gesundheit zu übernehmen, ja. Und das ist meiner Meinung nach der richtige Weg.
And I am very, very grateful that over 3.5 years ago, or even a little longer, I came across Healy. I got into the topic of microcurrents 6 years ago with other microcurrent devices. And when you deal with the topic of holistic health, you can't ignore this area. So, as I said, I am very, very grateful that I came across Healy over 3 years ago. It's also my main job now, and I'm very glad to have given and continue to give many people the opportunity to take their health into their own hands and to take responsibility for it.
Menschen die Möglichkeit gegeben zu haben und auch weiterhin zu geben, die Gesundheit hier in die eigenen Hände zu nehmen und auch eigenverantwortlich sich darum zu kümmern. Heute soll es das Thema.
Today, I want to talk about financial health, and I want to share a few things with you. An important point, and this is something that few people may think about in life, is what do I want in life? What do I want to achieve? What should my life look like in 1, 3, 5, 10 years? That means, what goals do I have in life? What is my why? What is my vision? And that's a very important point.
Warum? Was ist meine Vision? Und das ist ein ganz, ganz wichtiger Punkt, denn viele Menschen fragen mich immer, wie schaffst du es, dass du...
Because many people always ask me, how do you manage to always be so motivated? And I can tell you, I'm not. Instead, I am disciplined. And even more important than motivation is discipline. Because discipline is what allows you to achieve your goal. Discipline means doing things even when you don't feel like it. I always like to compare it to professional athletes. I'm sure they don't feel like training 1, 2, 3 times every day, but they do it anyway. Because they know that if they don't, they have no chance of winning. And that's exactly how we should see it too. Because we also want to win. We want to achieve our goal. And it doesn't matter if you're motivated or if you always feel like it. But it's important that we continuously, and with discipline, do the things that bring us closer to our goal.
Da ist es wichtig, dass wir kontinuierlich diszipliniert eben die Dinge tun, die uns unserem Ziel einen Schritt näher bringen. Und das Schöne ist, hier bei Healy, in der Healy World, wir bekommen alles an die Hand.
And the great thing here at Healy in the World is that we get everything we need to make the whole thing as easy as possible for us. Why do I love network marketing so much? Especially network marketing at Healy World? As I mentioned earlier, we get a lot of support. We get many tools at our disposal. That's easy. Yes, it's simple, but that's network marketing in general. There are no educational requirements. There are no qualification requirements. That means regardless of your level of education, your school leaving certificate, your training, your age, or your background, it doesn't matter. Everyone has the same opportunity. And that's something I find very valuable, and something that every person should take advantage of.
Und was jeder Mensch nutzen sollte. Und wenn du diesen Schritt gehst und sagst, Network Marketing ist interessant, dann sieh es als Job.
And if you take this step and say network marketing is interesting, then see it as a job. Don't see it as a hobby. That's often a mistake many people make. They see it as a hobby. I'll just do this on the side for now. Yes, you can do it on the side, but still see it as a job. In any other profession you pursue, there are certain qualifications required, or you have to acquire certain skills so that you can perform that job. And that's exactly how it is in network marketing too. We need certain skills that we should acquire to become professionals. And whether I do this part-time or full-time doesn't matter initially. Both benefit from these skills. So the person who does it part-time, the person who does it full-time, because it makes many things easier. And with this attitude, we should approach it. It makes many things easier and will definitely bring you a step closer to your goal.
Wird dich definitiv deinem Ziel einen Schritt näher kommen lassen. Ein weiterer wichtiger Punkt ist, auf dem Weg zu deinem
Another important point on the way to your goal is your environment. What kind of environment do you have? Do you have people around you who support you, who reinforce your vision, your goal? Or are they people who tend to bring you down, who say, just stay as you are, everything is fine? A very important point. I also learned that over the past years, that the environment can either help you reach your goal faster, or slower, or not at all. So it's also worth thinking about here. What kind of people are in my environment?
sind denn so, ja, in meinem Umfeld? Der nächste Punkt ist, wir gucken zwar immer im Außen.
The next point is, although we always look outside and often search for mistakes outside because it's easier to say, it's your fault. But most of the time, and I can say this from my own experience, you are the person who hinders your success the most. You are the person who is the biggest obstacle on your way to success. Therefore, it's important to realize, are the thoughts I have every day, what I think, the beliefs I have, are they mine? Or are they the ones I've been exposed to since I was young? From my family, from my parents, from kindergarten, from school, from friends, acquaintances.
Familie, von meinen Eltern, von Kindergarten, von der Schule, von Freunden, Bekannten, wie auch immer. Und ich glaube nur, es sind meine. Da kommen wir wieder auf das Umfeld zu sprechen.
However, I only believe they're mine. I believe they are mine. That brings us back to the environment. That means simply realizing what beliefs do I have? Where do they come from? And can I maybe change them? And that's another point, that we probably need to forget a lot of what we learned. That means we should just empty our glass and let it be refilled. Then there is space again. When the glass is empty, we can absorb information again. Then we are ready to change something, and then the whole thing will often work better. We all work here in the realm of consciousness, ultimately with energy, frequencies, and vibration. And you know that the thoughts you have, the thoughts you send out, create a resonance. It's a question of what kind of thoughts do you think all day? What thoughts do you send out? And ideally, these are exclusively positive thoughts that bring you closer to your goal. These will create resonance.
Sendest du aus. Und im Idealfall sind das ausschließlich positive, deinem Ziel näher bringende Gedanken. Die werden eine Resonanz erzeugen. Ganz wichtig, dass wir immer positiv sind, dass wir
It's very important that we always stay positive, that we are grateful, and that we leave no room for negative thoughts, for negative frequencies, because that too will amplify. Each of you will also know this, and that's another important point that I have also learned in recent years. Because in the hospital, during my nursing training, I didn't learn any of what I do today. Instead, there are a few skills that I have acquired myself. And this is the next beautiful thing here. And it's also my final tip for you. What I would like to impart to you is that we all learn differently in our entire lives, especially when we are in school. We make mistakes. When we are in school and training, we are sometimes punished for making mistakes. In real life, are you rewarded for making mistakes? It's okay to make mistakes, but what we shouldn't do is make the same mistake twice. And I always like to tell people to make mistakes. Because if you don't make mistakes, then you probably don't do anything. Consequently, make many mistakes. Every mistake will bring you a little closer to your goal and will not only improve your financial health, but also your overall health. That is, physical, mental, and emotional health, because they all go together.
Wird nicht nur deine finanzielle Gesundheit verbessern, sondern eben auch deine ganzheitliche Gesundheit, das heißt auch körperlich, psychisch, seelische Gesundheit, denn
So when I speak of holistic health, I also mean financial health. Because if we spend the whole day thinking about our finances, how to pay the next bill, the next tank refill, the next purchase, then it will naturally have a negative impact on our mental, emotional, and physical health. And accordingly, all I can do is give each person a hand. Take advantage of this unique opportunity we have here in network marketing with Healy World and share it with as many people as possible, with everyone.
Und teilt es mit möglichst.
And in that sense, I would like to thank you again warmly and wish you all a good time. Thank you very much.
Und wünsche euch allen noch eine gute Zeit. Vielen Dank.
Thank you so much, Jan, for those insights. I hope each of you in the audience has gained something from our brilliant speaker and even discovered new ways to work towards your goals. Speaking of goals, our giveaway package or packages, because it's two of them, are available for everyone answering our questions in the live chat, sharing their goals and how they intend to reach them. I am really looking forward to seeing what all of you will say later on. And this also brings us to the end of our time here today. Thank you once again to all speakers for being willing to share their insights, wisdom, and also heart, because our community has such a big heart with the Healy World, community. I hope this episode has given you time to reflect on some of your short and long-term goals. But more importantly, I hope you can consider some of these goals and how they align with your dreams of wellness and overall happiness. I'm so proud to be part of our community that cherishes our ability to live a life of happiness and freedom. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next time. Same place, same time, in the next Healy Horizon in March. Bye-bye.